just as they are now, South America, Canada, or even further, Greenland, they would have tried to grip them tighter. Xi Jinping is also a symbol of that, geopolitics. That's why geopolitics is so interesting. And so, that could have happened. But historical hypotheticals don't mean much. With a leader like Xi Jinping emerging, he showed the US his full set of claws and teeth, making the US go, ouch, that's hot. If we leave the Western Pacific to China, we'll end up losing the world's largest industrials owned semiconductor production hubs to them. Because shale gas is being produced, and because the shale revolution is underway, losing the Middle East right now isn't really that critical. But in the 70 and 80 seconds, it would have been fatal to lose the Middle East to the Soviet Union or some other power. But now, Northeast Asia is very important, from the U.S. perspective. So, because China is showing its teeth in this way, for the U.S., it's just not possible. That's why the U.S. letting go of its grip across the ocean and moving toward tightening its grip around its own mainland is a result of certain systemic limitations that the U.S. has. That manifests in bonds. It manifests in the dollar, and it also manifests within the domestic politics of the United States. All of that is now, in a broad sense. But when it comes to China, a variable has emerged. So, the idea of either co-dominating the Western Pacific with China, or accepting China's influence is something that the U.S. can no longer do. It's no longer an option. That leaves one thing left, and that is, they have to bring in Russia. They need to reconcile with Russia quickly. But for Russia to reconcile, isn't a country worth that much? Putin is a thug who has been in power for 30 years. And the idea is that only by cooperating with them can we contain China. But if nothing happens to Russia specifically, then things like Iran, where China's influence is strong, or Venezuela, are seen as something that could be dealt with overnight. That is the current situation that you all are seeing right now. Shall I leave the explanation at that? So as for the price of Bitcoin, no one knows what will happen. People say that Bitcoin is originally a geopolitical asset, but when things like this happen, it's usually the first to drop. Right, but it didn't actually drop as much as expected. Did it really drop that much? I don't think it dropped that much. Isn't it in the 89? Zaro reign,